Hi, so today I wanted to have a quick word with you about printing paper. Now that is a whole can of worms because there's a million different printing papers that you can use for lino. So the thing is not to get too hung up about it. If you're starting out, what I'd say is have a play with what you've got. Just have an experiment. It's actually, lino is pretty good natured and the inks are pretty accommodating with the different papers. One thing that you might prefer is to have a smooth surface, because if you print with a textured paper, it's going to make it hard for the print to have a smooth layer of ink. The papers that I use, this is my absolute go-to bread and butter, pretty much all my prints are done on it paper. And this is Fabriano Rosso, and it's the 285 gram one, and it comes in various shades of white. So that's my go-to paper. I buy great big stacks of it and just work my way through it. One bit of advice I would say is that it's quite often a good idea to try lots of paper, find one you like, and then you've got one that you know that you can always fall back on. However, the print that we're working on, that I'm going to show you, this one, which looks like a fairly minimal drawing at the moment, is going to be a bit special because I'm not going to use my usual paper for this. This print, I want to use a really delicate paper, and the paper that I'm going to use is this paper here. And this is Takata Paper from the Awagami Paper Factory, and it's a washi paper. And I'll explain why that's different in a sec. This one is, let me just look on the packet, it's 36 grams as opposed to 285 grams, so it really is delicate. And it has this really lovely decal around it, and I want to keep that decal on while I'm printing, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So this paper's really fine, but it's also really strong. And if you are hand printing without a printing press, chances are a heavy paper like this one, like the Fabriano, is going to be too much hard work. So you may need a lighter weight paper, and that's where washi comes in really, really useful. So the difference between washi paper and ordinary paper is in the length of the paper fibre. So traditionally washi paper is Japanese paper. It was originally made with mulberry bark. So what would happen is the mulberry would be grown and pollarded, pretty much like you pollard willow for baskets, and then the stems are steamed and split open, and it's the outside of the bark is dark, the inside of the bark is white, the inside bark stripped out, and it's picked over for imperfections, and then it's beaten, and all the time the fibres are kept really long. And when the paper's made and the tray, the decal, goes in to pick up the paper fibres, they're suspended in water with starch in it, not just plain water like we would in the West. So in the West we've got paper pulp that's chopped up small in water. In washi paper making you have long fibres in a starchy water, and when the decal goes in the water and it's shaken, the long fibres tangle and they turn into this tangle of fibres. So think like bulletproof vest material. So it's really, really strong. And that means that a fine paper like this, although it looks very delicate, is very sturdy. So if you are printing by hand, rubbing the back of the paper, a washi paper will often keep fresher and respond better than a Western paper. Awagami Factory has a sample pack of papers specific for printmaking. Sample pack looks like this. I'd love to tell you they're paying me to do this, but they're not. So you can buy a sample pack like this and try them and choose the one you like, but there are lots of washi papers out there, and you can buy sample packs from most of the art suppliers. who may make up their own sample packs and things. So there's a lot of stuff to try out there. So in this series of prints that I'm going to show you, I am going to be using the washi paper, which is a little bit unusual for me, but I think it might be quite fun to show you working with that. So I hope you'll join me again. Thanks for watching.